Hello! This is Kayla G with Big Sister Sesh and my bestie Julia.
Hey!
And we were sitting in the car, and you've no idea how hard it took to get here. The hills we've climbed, the mountains we've climbed. We've done it, and we're doing it here for you, my 5 fans. What the fuck is up? Jules is also the other half of girl band, which I don't know if I've talked about before, but
Represent.
we're a band, and it's called girl band, period.
Lowercase.
Lowercase, no space, period.
Not the girl band on... I'm not even gonna get into it.
Don't even hype them up like that. Today we're gonna be talking about some witchy shit because Miss Julia herself has been getting super into the witchy natures, and you guys probably hear me talk about it every fucking day. So you're probably gonna hear perspectives. So here we are. We're Miss Jules, and she's fabulous and she's fun, and we're here like this. We go like this. Woo.
Okay.
So, you just take it away. Do you have anything to rattle daddle?
I don't know.
Like you were ready to go. So I was like,
No. I don't think so. Maybe it's better you ask me some questions.
oh, I will.
Okay.
Take a sip.
We're live.
And we're live. So you most recently, end scene. It was recently that you
Yes.
started giving credence to signs.
Yes.
Why don't you walk us through, like, why you started giving credence to signs and what they are?
Sure. So, just to give you guys a little bit of background, I never really believed in signs, angel numbers, anything like that. Not that I wasn't spiritual or anything like that, but that particular thing, I just didn't give any... I don't know. I just didn't believe in it. And then maybe in January, maybe towards the end of January, I all of a sudden had this thought, like, I should get back into, like, my spiritual side. I kind of put that on the back burner for a while. I just wasn't focused on it, just focused on different things. I was like, I should really try to get back into this. I don't really remember what exactly provoked that, but this thought. And I was like, okay. So then I came across this YouTube video, Jay Shetty Podcast. Check it out if you haven't. But he had this
Second best to Big Sisters.
of course. But he had this psychic medium on, Laura Lynn Jackson, the Queen, and I just felt like I was meant to watch it. She was such a cool person. She was able to, like, back up, oh fuck.
You bitch.
Technical difficulties.
We're just gonna
We're just rolling. But she was so cool. Talked about how she got into being a psychic. Obviously, it was a natural born ability, but she was a part of this. I feel like I'm, like, just all over the place.
No, you're
okay,
not.
Okay. So she basically talked about how her first encounter with the other side, the universe, her psychic abilities, her mediumship, and then she went through that in a bunch of detail. But what was really cool about her was she became part of this, I think this, like, it's this foundation for parents that have lost their children, and to try and help them cope with loss, they bring in mediums to help them connect to the other side. So with that, though, they go through these really rigorous tests to make sure that they're legit, make sure they're not, like, fucking with these parents that have been through so much, obviously. But she went through all of that, got tested, and then through that really got into her abilities and talked through that. Anyway, that's kind of besides the point of, like, what I was talking about, but she started talking about signs and how, like, you don't have to just have the natural psychic abilities. Like, everybody, like, as she does, like, as a psychic, as a medium, everybody kind of has that in them. You just need to acknowledge it. And she was talking about how anybody can ask for a sign and the universe will definitely give it to you. Like, just watch. And I'm like, like, I really resonated with it. And like I said before, never really gave anything to signs. I'm like, it's a bunch of hullabaloo, whatever. But when she said it, I was like, there's something to this woman. I really trust her. Like, she just seems, I feel like I connected her. Like, coming across this video on YouTube was almost like a sign in itself to, like, keep going down this path. So she was like, she was like, test it. Like, you can ask for any sign, make it as obscure as you want to make sure you really get, like, confirmation that you need. And it's not just, like, some run of the mill thing. So that day I was like, okay, if So in this video, let me just say, she talks about your team of light, which can mean God, can mean the universe, whatever, like your spirit guides, whatever you want to call it. And what's cool about her too is she's really good about talking about, it can be anything, like whatever you believe in. Like she's not like it's one thing. So she was like, if you want a sign from your team of light that they're here, ask and they will give it to you. So I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. So I literally said it out loud. I'm like, if my spirit guides are with me, I'm going to see a Bichon Frise at the farmer's market today. As soon as I walk in, I'm going to see that Bichon Frise. And if I see them, you guys are real. So this was how I was going to confirm it. So I get ready for the farmer's market. I'm going. I'm like, I hope I see this shit. Because this is like, it's a make or break it situation. Mm-hmm. So I get out, I go, I'm walking up to the Mueller's Farmer's Market. Shout out. And as soon as I walk in, Bichon Frise, and you wouldn't believe it, not even 5 minutes later, 1 minute later, another Bichon Frise, and I'm like, these motherfuckers, sorry, excuse my language, I'm like, they're here, they have to be, because I don't know about you guys, but I don't come across a Bichon Frise very often. The reason why I gave that sign to, I used to have a dog named Sadie, shout out. She was Bichon Frise. Love her so much. But so, and like, you just don't see those every day. So I was like, they're here, I'm with them. And I felt like this warmth overwhelmed me too, I should mention. Just like, anyway. And like I said, I thought it was kind of woo-woo, all these things. But I'm like, no, I think there is truth to this. And then, long story short, like I started acknowledging my team of light more often and kind of, as you would with God, like praying to them, talking to them, whatever you want it to be. And then the signs became more, I started to see angel numbers a ton. And I should back up a little bit. So I was back in New Jersey for the holidays. And when I came back, I started seeing, so in January, 444 all the time. And I'm like, huh. I never gave any thought to angel numbers, but I'm like, this is kind of weird. I remember talking to you about it. And you were also seeing 444, which was so funny. Anyway, so when I started acknowledging the team of light, whatever you want to call it, I started to see angel numbers so frequently, like in an insane amount. And I was going through a little thing like a week after I had kind of invited spirituality back into me and had seen the Bichon Frise, whatever. And I kept seeing 444 throughout that whole week. And I was like, damn, like they're here with me. It's so nice. And since then, like every time I look at the clock, 222, 444, 1111, all the time. And I don't think it's just a coincidence. I really don't think anything is a coincidence now. I know we talk about this all the time, but yeah, so that's kind of my brush with the signs. There's also some other stuff. We can get into that, but I feel like I've just been
it's been fabulous and wonderful. What other signs?
You guys want to hear the tea? So I was seeing this guy maybe back in January, and I thought everything was going really well. I was really into him. Blah, 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 the whole works. I was sitting at a coffee shop with him, and he went to go grab our coffee, and I'm looking out the window, and all of a sudden this black crow pops up on the table outside. And I was like, huh. I had this weird feeling. I'm like, I don't know why I I'll explain later. Like, I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I feel like this is telling me, seeing this crow right now, that we shouldn't be together. Like, it's a bad omen, like me and this guy. But I'm like, nah, at the time, like I wasn't giving that much, what's the word? Credence to signs. So I was like, it doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, I like this guy, so I'm going to ignore it. That idea, don't ignore your intuition. Mm-mm. So, don't ignore them. Love you guys. Just one flew by.
It was right there, and I was like,
and this is what I'm saying, guys. Nothing is a coincidence. So I saw that, whatever. And then me and this guy had a little bit of a falling out, if you will. And we were gonna have this conversation about where we're going, like what we're doing, after we had a little bit of an altercation. And that whole week I kept seeing crows everywhere. And then I was going for a walk and literally and before this, maybe I just wasn't looking for them. I never saw a crow in my fucking life. Like you can sorry.
This, bro. I'm literally like, shit, fuck.
So I guess I was going for a walk and all of a sudden all of these crows everywhere. And I'm like, God. Ugh. And to me, it wasn't even a bad thing. It was me. It was like the universe was with me. And like that whole week, because this was kind of like a hard thing for me to go through. Like I said, I really liked this person and I kind of knew it was going to end. But that whole week I was like trying to like communicate with my team of light, and I really felt like they had my back. Like I went in because we had to have a conversation about what we were going to do, and I went into it in such like a positive mindset, like no like bad will or anything like that. And I felt like it was because I was connected to that and they really had my back, and they were like, whatever happens, we're here for you. And I felt it. I don't know. Anyway, so that was the other sign. And now I see them all the time. Like, not just, obviously they're around, but I feel like there's something special to when I see them. And obviously, one thing I want to note is, I heard this from Laura Lynn Jackson, I'm sure I'm just repeating her, but if you see something and you think it's a sign, it's a sign. Like, if you just see something random and you don't think anything of it, it's probably not, but like, listen to your intuition. If you think in your head, wow, that means something to you, it probably does. Don't close off your intuition. That's really important. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Yes. So that's
well
my thing.
Said. Well
thank
said,
you.
My dear. Yeah, so then she passed me that book. She was like, you like found Laura Lynn. Yeah. She passed me that book. You go.
So, sorry, just so you guys know, Laura Lynn Jackson wrote a book called, do you remember what it's called?
The Light Between Us.
The Light Between Us. And she also wrote a book about signs and how you can ask for them to see your loved ones, whatever you need. I don't know if we mentioned the book. It's a great book. Shout out. So I love this woman so much and resonated with her. I was like, let me go buy this book. Read it in a couple days. I'm like, Kayla, you need to read this shit. You're going to fucking love it. And then you read it. And sorry, I didn't mean to.
No. Thank you.
Back to you.
Back to you, Roger that. So then she passed me the book. I also read it within a few days. And at the end of the book, she's talking about asking for signs. I guess this is like the same, or no, you heard it in the video to ask for signs. So, but in the book, she also tells you to ask for signs at the end. And I was like, okay, let me like hear or see. I think I already talked about this in an episode, but I said, let me hear or see the name Monica. And I don't know anybody named Monica except for this one random girl from my childhood who I literally haven't spoken to in 10 years. Don't follow her, blah, blah, blah. And like said it out loud also. I didn't put a time frame on it, which she, I think, says to do. But I was just like, whatever, let me hear or see the name Monica. And then not even 2 hours later, I'm on Instagram, and I'm not one of those people that follows like a bajillion people. I have like a pretty small Instagram following and followy moment where it's but this girl was posting a happy birthday post for her friend named Monica, or like a bachelorette post for her friend named Monica, and I was like, oh, see. And then a couple days later, didn't you get like a recruiter text, or maybe a week later?
Yeah, a week later I got, those fucked little like spam, robot spammies. Yeah. It was like, hey, I'm beep beep beep. I'm Monica from beep beep beep. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway.
Yeah, and then she was like, oh, I heard the name Monica too. I had told you about that, and you were like, I just got a recruiter text from Monica. And then maybe a week later, I got the same recruiter text from a woman named Monica. But I'm like, this is just the universe being like, Monica
that's your thing.
Is your girl now.
The stars are slimed.
Mm-hmm. The stars are slimed. If you guys don't know, I think I actually explained the stars are slimed on my. I did. I called your mom out like hardcore. I was like, first of all, she laughed at me for sitting on my floor. Do you remember that? She was like, I just can't take you seriously because you're sitting on the floor.
Wait, when? When? When were you sitting on the floor at dinner?
No, like I sit on the floor in my podcast.
Oh! She's such a fuck.
Love her though. I was like,
so much.
First of all, watch your mouth. But secondly, I get it. It's random.
Feels good though. It's comfy.
Yeah, and it's like my house. Where am I supposed? I don't have a studio yet. Y'all follow me.
It's coming.
And give me money.
Get her a studio.
Come on. It's fine. 25. But and then I do like phrases of the week at the end of some of them, and I was like, stars are slimed. Explain that to them. You guys know the stars are slimed.
Stars are slimed.
And for me now, ladybugs are slimed. Ladybugs are also my little tell, like that my spirits are with me and shit. And I don't know why I like decided that was so. Oh, I had a dream about a ladybug, and the like dots were smiley faces, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And I woke up just thinking about ladybugs. And then later that day, I think I got, not that day, but a couple days later, I think a ladybug like flew on me, and I was like, ladybug. And then a couple days later, me and my boyfriend went to a nursery, and he bought a packet of sunflower seeds, and we're looking at the packet of sunflower seeds, and there's like a little ladybug on the illustration. And I'm like, fucking ladybug. So
They're here, baby.
yeah, so like I said ladybug is my thing. Like when they're around me, blah blah blah. And then we went and we like FaceTimed with a psychic medium and tarot card reader. I told myself, I wrote in my notes, it's probably right here. Yeah, Joanne, ladybug. So the woman's name is Joanne. And I wrote in the note before, I was like, she'll mention ladybugs, like if my team of light is around. And she goes through my whole reading and she doesn't say it, and I'm kind of sad, I'm like, meh. And then during my friend's reading, she's like, I'm getting like ladybugs and like other stuff. And I was like, ladybug. Like she just came in, my team of light, they're here. They're playing with me. They came in a little late, but they're here. And I told her too, I was like, girl, I said, if you say ladybug. So she was legit, I suppose. But anyway.
Yeah. That's another, I think it's interesting. When we were meeting with this psychic, it was me, our other friend Eliza, and Kayla. Kayla went first, but it was interesting to see how the psychic kind of got warmed up as we went on. Like the readings got progressively better, just as she got more comfortable. The one thing that we talked about that I was thinking, I'm like, I wonder if, especially since it's via Zoom, like is it possible that she got some of our readings mixed up? Just because, and I don't know if that's even possible. I'm not sure. Like I'm sure that maybe they're just able to really tune in, and especially depending on their skill level. But we were thinking, are some of these readings like intertwined a little bit? Yeah. So
yeah,
that's something.
She is a newer medium. So yeah. Anyway, we've been getting our little signs from our team of lights, our collective team of lights. I feel like they're buddies up there too.
Oh, they have to be.
They're like just like us.
Just like this. Kayla and I were talking today too. So Grace and Sarah, shout out. So I think you've definitely talked about them on the pod. Have you talked about Grace and Sarah before?
I don't think so.
All right, I'll give you a little spiel. So Kayla and I studied abroad in Australia during college. We met these two wonderful ladies, Grace and Sarah, who we became best friends with, sisters, XYZ, and we always felt like we were meant to meet. Like we were literally brought to Melbourne, Australia to meet together and to become friends. And we were just talking today how it's so great how whenever we only see each other like once every couple of years because we all live in different areas of the country. But every time we get together, it's like right back where we left. It's such a great connection, and it's like I feel like, what's the book? Many Minds, Many Masters.
Many Lives, Many Masters.
Many Lives, Many Masters. In the book, they say that, or maybe not in the book. Maybe you just told me this.
No,
like,
souls travel
together. And I've always, ever since you told me that, I'm like, wow, like, we definitely were meant to meet in that time, and we are going back to what you said, like our spirit guides, our team of light, if you will, must all be together, like
they're
in
conspiring.
cahoots.
They're like, come on, let's get these.
Let's go, girlies. Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Love y'all.
Well, I have her guide / her strong psychic lineage. Talk about your mom if you feel like it.
Sure. So, as I was getting more into my spiritual side, naturally, you're gonna get a little witchy. It happens.
Who among us?
So I've always kind of felt connected to something. I don't know what it is all of my life, but I kind of always pushed it away because it kind of scared me a bit. Like there was definitely paranormal activity going on in my house, like somebody trying to connect with me when I was little. Like, and Laura Lynn Jackson, my girl, the psychic medium from the Jay Shetty podcast, she affirmed me because she validated me because she was saying how your team of light will communicate to you via electronics, like whether they're like turning your TV on and off, fucking around with some shit, you get it. But when I was little, my TV, for no reason at all, like there was no, obviously like those things happens, like your TV turns off, the electric goes out. It wasn't like this, like that TV would just go off randomly. And I was like, there's nothing. And I remember having this feeling, I'm like, there's somebody doing that. There's no way there was no other interruption it could be. I don't know. But it really freaked me out. So I kind of tried to push it away. And I think if they sense you, pushing away, they'll kind of back off a little bit until you're ready. Especially they're good. Like, it's your team of light. So I always push that away because it freaked me out. I'm like, I don't need this shit in my life. But I've always, like I said, I've always felt like a calling to this side. And my mom has ESP. Like, she knows when bad things are going to happen. Proven fully. I won't get into the details, but every couple of years, it's so funny. Every couple of years, I get this feeling. I'm like, I should get witchy. I should get into this. Like, there's something calling me to this. And I'll ask my mom, are we witches? And my mom is, I love her so much. She loves the drama. She's like, that's something you have to find. She's like, that's something within you. I can't lead you there. And I'm like, just fucking tell me if we are or not. Are we? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, Mom, come on, lay it on me. And she's like, we're good witches. This was the first time I asked. I was probably like 22. And I'm like, what's a good witch? She's like, we're like white witches. I'm like, you're just making this shit popping out of your ass now. Like, anyway, but literally, and it's so funny, a couple weeks ago, maybe like 2 months ago now, not a couple weeks ago, I was like, Mom, I'm telling her about my whole like journey into spirituality, whatever. I'm like, Mom, I need you to be real with me. Do we have something in us that's like clairvoyant or something else, like a sixth sense? She's like, Julia, I've been telling you this for years. Only you can find that. And then I'm like, can you be real with me? And she basically was like, yes, we do, but like, you need to figure that out for yourself. It's different for everybody. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right. I still don't know. I'm like, are you just making shit up for
She
fun?
loves the drama.
But
I do believe that it's there. I think she's just like really riding it out.
She's like in a movie. She's like an actress. Anyway.
She's like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know. Only you can figure it out. Like, it's a prophecy. Ooh. She's so woo woo woo.
She goes like this.
Literally.
The room.
Absolutely. We love this woman.
Look, disappears in a
exactly.
smoke.
I mean, she's a magician too.
I love her.
But kind of funny. So on another note, like, did you just say psychic, whatever? Psychic, strong lineage of...
I wrote strong psychic lineage.
Okay. So a kind of another funny thing, and we can talk about your tarot card reading and like the psychic reading, but I was just going to bring up that I went to a psychic in Woodstock. Shout out if you ever see this. Love you. In Woodstock last year. And this woman was so legit. Obviously, you have to be careful with psychics, because sometimes they're not real and they're trying to get a quick buck. But this woman was so legit, so cool. And she said, she told me during my reading, she's like, you come from this line of, not to toot my own horn, but like really strong women that, I don't know, and like kind of alluded to like a psychic type of thing. I don't know. Who knows? But I thought that was interesting. And she knew me and my mom have a really close bond. We're best friends. She knew right off the bat. She's like, you're best friends with your mom. Like, you guys are super close. And that's what led her to say, like, you have this line of women that are baddies. They're awesome. I can't believe I just said that. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that.
And then also Joanne said that.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Joanne. The psychic we just saw over Zoom, she said that. And she said it in kind of a different way. She's like, you're connected to this like old knowledge or something. And I'm like what?
Ancestral knowledge or something.
Yeah, something like that. I'm like, that's so funny. And then another thing that was really lovely that Joanne said, she's like, and it was so funny because she was definitely channeling them. She was like, your spirit guides are like so active and they're like so happy and they're trying to tell me all these things. It's hard to focus, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, but they really just she was like, they love you so much. Like, they're like rubbing your shoulders, like when you're stressed, and it was just, and I felt I'm like, wow, like I just felt so validated. It was so nice. I'm like, I really do feel them, blah, blah, blah. So
cute.
It's so sweet. Love you guys. Anyway.
Shout out Team of Light.
Do you want to talk about some weird shit that happened with the crows?
Crows.
Okay. So now I see the crows as a sign of, support, I guess you can say. Now they're, like Kayla said, her sign is ladybugs. I see them in the same light. However, it was kind of weird. Maybe maybe a month back, I was getting to my car in the garage, and there was these two crows like chirp, 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 chirping really aggressively. And I obviously took note of it, and I was like, that's so weird. And then I got this overwhelming bad feeling. I'm like, something's not right. And then I had forgotten my phone in my apartment, so I ran back, grabbed that, came back, and all of a sudden they moved from across the parking garage right next to my car on the truck beside me, and they're like chirp, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck? But I'm like, this time wasn't following my intuition. Like, I'm just getting back into this stuff. I'm like, well, no, yes and no. So I'm like, I feel like something bad's gonna happen, but I'm like, I don't think it's for me. Like, it's not me. Like, I'm good. Because I was almost thinking, like, should I even leave the house right now? Whatever. But I was like, no, I don't think it's for me. Like, let me just move on. Like, whatever. So I go about my day, go grab dinner, and I'm coming back, and I'm at this stoplight right by my house, and all of a sudden, I'm probably like 3/4 of a mile back, and I see all of this debris fly up into the air in the middle of the intersection at the light. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then like the traffic is starting to move slow, and then I finally get to cross the intersection, and there's smoke everywhere. And I look in the middle as I'm passing, and it's all of this debris and a motorcycle that just got completely fucked. And then this is dark. There was this woman underneath. I don't know what happened, but this woman was underneath the car and like got ran over and was literally underneath the tire. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, like crazy, crazy, crazy. But I hopefully, like, I'm sure she was okay. There was cops just coming, but it just happened. I'm like, I guess that must have been me. Who knows? Like, I'm not trying to say XYZ, but I'm like, is that what it was warning me for? Like, this was going to happen? And I also, like, little things happen that maybe shouldn't have before I even made it to that intersection. Like, my mom had called me randomly, and I stopped in the HEB to like talk to her for a second, and I pulled over. Like, what if, I don't know, like, what if, you know what I mean? So, but now the crows are like, I hope that woman's okay. And she was, anyway, whatever. But yeah, that was another thing with the crows.
Yeah, that I forgot about that story. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like there are signs like that though, and maybe we
Yeah.
don't realize it. Like,
Yeah, at the
one
time.
little thing like adjusts your day. I actually
Yeah.
had something, I like, kind of a sign, I guess, but I've been having a week, a day, a month, and like super anxious, blah blah blah. You know the jam. But for a little backstory for the folks, like, not in the best mindset. And the other day I was going to meet my friend to go work at a coffee shop, and I'm going. I was making a stop at the okay, where's I was going to make a stop at USPS, and I put it into my thing, and for some reason, whether I did it or the universe did it, it switched the location, so I went to the coffee shop first. I was like, oh shit. But on my way to the coffee shop, I saw two homeless guys, and I make these like little like, I have like little bags to give homeless people, and like I had a really good interaction with two of them, and it, like, maybe that wouldn't have happened, and I remember reflecting and being like, oh, like, that was so nice. And then so I get to the coffee shop. That happened on the way to the coffee shop, and then I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go to UPS. So then on my way to UPS, I see another homeless gentleman, and I give him something, and he like stops and like fully prays for me, and I was like full. He was like, thank you God, like, for like this beautiful woman, for giving me blah blah blah. And I was like, holy fuck, the world did that. The world did that. Because if I went the opposite ways, who knows if I would have passed them? Who knows if they still would have been there? All that stuff.
I didn't know that.
I know. I forgot to tell you about it. Yeah, that literally happened Friday. What was that? Yesterday? Holy shit! It feels like it's been today. 40 years since Friday.
We've lived tons of lives.
Dude, I've lived 18 years. I've aged 18 years in a night. But yeah, that was a really beautiful time. And then I was like, I really need to make more of my bags because I'm running out of the dude ones. And I like just pulled, you can see it, the back of my car, there's like snacks everywhere. Because I was just like,
gotta give something. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so smart. That's, see, it, especially if I feel like in that moment, people can say whatever, but I feel like in that moment, if you feel like it was meant to be, like you were put there for a reason, you are. Like,
I know.
You
like,
know?
if I didn't have such a good, because it's not like I pick and choose which homeless people to give to, but like sometimes I like feel more called. Sometimes if I'm stopped at the light like for a long enough time, sometimes if you're just passing by. But I was stopped for a long enough time. These guys were really close to my door. And like who knows, like I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. I usually, not that I don't usually like give out that many, and I usually don't. It's usually like one here and there. But I was just like, oh, the first two felt good. Like let me keep going. And yeah, so I don't know. The universe did that. Thank you, girl.
Love you.
Yeah. Thought that was
Been
fun.
so nice.
The prayer was really sweet. And we were right by the church that we went to for
Weird.
yeah, and I was like, oh,
That's such a nice moment.
yeah, it was sweet. Jesus. Oh. Any final parting words? Any final parting stories?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I had one more sign. So maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. At this point, I'm like fully ingrained with my team of light. They got me, I got them. I'm really trying to connect more to that side, like see if there's, I don't know, whatever. But I was getting ready for bed and I hopped into bed. I'm a big TV girly before bed. I go to pop on my TV. I'm more of a YouTube girly. So I go to pop on YouTube and it just stays at the loading screen, you know, before it actually goes into the platform. And I'm like, that's so weird. And I kept trying to click out of it and it would not for the life of me move anywhere. I'm like, okay, so I shut the TV off, try to reboot it. And I'm clicking the TV, the button is lighting up to let me know that it's working. Nothing's popping up on the screen. I'm like, what the hell? So I keep clicking. I'm like, for a minute straight, just fucking with it at this point. And I'm like, I had this thought in my head. I'm like, I wonder if this is my spirit guides. And I'm like, I know it sounds so funny. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey y'all, audibly outside. And then what do you know? The TV turns right back on. I'm like, you motherfuckers. Love you to death, but like I'm like, it was them saying like we're here with you, like, but they wanted me to acknowledge. I think they wanted me to acknowledge it, so the connection was actually there. Sometimes it's hard to tell, and I was like, I see you, I fucking see you. But I thought that was so funny, and like, guys, the TV was not like the button was going blah blah blah. And all of a sudden, like literally like clockwork. I didn't even touch the TV. Oh, I should say that I didn't click it on again. As soon as I said, hey y'all, TV on. And what do you know?
And what do you know? There's gonna be some people listening to this like, y'all are
fucking crazy. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. I know I've said this a million times and I'm so sorry, but I've always believed in something else, but kind of, I didn't really believe in all that shit necessarily. Like the signs, your spirit guides, like deep down numbers, I did. Angel numbers. I was like, nah.
You like want to, but you're like, like your logical brain takes over.
Exactly. How can that be true?
But then enough of them happen and you're like,
I'm like, there's gotta be something going on.
There's something cooking in this kitchen.
That was funny too, because Joanne said during the reading, she's like, you're like, you have 1 foot in the door and then 1 foot out. She was like very dreamy, and then like one half of you is like dreamy, idealistic, and the other half is like practical, grounded, like and I'm like, that's me. Like it's the constant like contradiction or like I don't know, contrast, whatever you want to call it, but yeah.
And that's the tea.
That's the tea.
So fun. Just witchy stories.
Do you have anything else? Is there something? I feel like you've got something else cooking in there.
I don't think so. I don't want to get into my whole
thing.
Yeah, because this is like 30 minutes.
This is like the base.
Fun 30.
Fun 30. 30, and
thriving. Thanks so much, you guys, for listening. 3 followers. Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Bye. Thanks for listening.